Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. I am so pumped you're here today because, look, if you're fiercely ambitious, especially if you're under 25, what we're unpacking today could honestly be a complete game changer for you. We're breaking down the 7 high-income skills for financial leverage in 2026. And to be clear, we're not talking about your basic resume fluff here. We're looking at the exact skills that act like a massive wedge, completely separating the true wealth builders from the people who work insanely hard but somehow just stay broke. The reality is, 90% of the millionaires created in this next decade, they aren't going to take traditional career paths. They're going to use leverage. So we're going to dig into exactly what these skills are, why they matter so much, and how practically they actually put money in your pocket.
To keep this super actionable, I've organized the source material into 5 quick parts. First, time versus true leverage. Second, the digital builders. Third, mastering human attention. Fourth, the ultimate revenue engine. And finally, your next move.
All right, let's just jump right into section 1, time versus true leverage, working hard versus actually building wealth. I want to start by asking you this directly. Are you working hard but staying broke? It's a tough question, I know, but it's a harsh reality check drawn straight from the research. You know, for generations, we were sold this idea that sheer, raw effort was the guaranteed ticket to financial freedom. But the data today paints a completely different picture. Right now, you can absolutely exhaust yourself grinding 80-hour weeks, and if you aren't applying the right mechanics to that effort, you're just going to stay broke. And that brings us to the ultimate secret weapon, leverage. So what is it? Leverage is simply turning your time into a high-income advantage. That's the dividing line between wealth builders and everyone else. When you have leverage, your output is no longer strictly chained to the hours you clock in. It's about building systems, using tools, or tapping into psychology that essentially does the heavy lifting for you. And honestly, all 7 skills we're about to cover, they're just different vehicles for getting you exactly that kind of leverage.
So let's look at the first major category where this happens, the digital builders, building the systems that do the heavy lifting.
Okay, there are 3 massive technical skills here that will exponentially multiply your output. First up, AI automation and prompt engineering. This is easily the biggest unfair advantage you can build for 2026. And I don't mean just messing around with AI. It's the daily habit of giving highly precise commands to tools like ChatGPT to completely automate huge workflows. You literally multiply yourself. Next is coding. Building apps and systems with languages like Python. Yes, it takes deep, focused practice, but the payoff? Your code runs and generates income while you sleep. You're literally building the roads people drive on digitally. And third, data analytics. Using tools like SQL to turn giant piles of raw numbers into crystal clear insights. Why does it pay so well? Because spotting those trends saves companies millions and lets them predict the future before their competitors even wake up. Businesses run on decisions, and decisions, well, they run on data. Actually, I just want to isolate that AI piece for a second, because the contrast here is completely mind-blowing. Think about the old way, unautomated tasks sucking away hours, sometimes days, from entire teams of people. Compare that to true AI automation, where that exact same output is done in minutes from a single, well-crafted command. If you master that, you aren't just a valuable employee, you become totally irreplaceable. And I think this quote perfectly nails the vibe of the digital builders. The future belongs to those who know how to create. That is a core truth for 2026. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you just going to consume or are you going to create? If you can build the tools that solve problems, you hold all the cards. Okay, shifting gears now. We've talked about digital systems, so let's move to our second group, mastering human attention. This is all about turning psychology into pure profit. Right? Let's break these down, because today, attention is basically the new oil. First, copywriting. This is strategic psychology disguised as writing. By making it a habit to write and endlessly test your words, you can get to a point where one single optimized email brings in thousands of dollars. Then, video editing. With tools like CapCut or Premiere, this isn't just chopping up clips. It's mastering the pacing, the emotion, the storytelling that keeps a viewer completely hooked. The right edit is what makes something go viral. And lastly, content creation. The daily habit of publishing your ideas and turning them into real influence. When you do this right, you stop chasing opportunities because your content acts like a magnet, pulling them right to you. And this quote right here just brilliantly captures the power of copywriting. Copywriting is the art of turning words into money. Look, it's not about being a beautiful, poetic novelist. It is strictly about strategic communication. You are using the exact right words to flip a switch in someone's brain, turning a casual reader into a paying buyer. And trust me, companies will pay insane amounts of money to anyone who has that key. When you stack video editing and content creation on top of that, it's so clear why these skills are exploding. Every single brand and business on earth demands them. They all rely on storytelling and human emotion to survive. And the absolute best part? In this world, your portfolio speaks way louder than any boring traditional resume ever could. You put your work out there, you build trust, and suddenly life-changing opportunities are sliding into your inbox. All right, so we've built the systems, we've captured the attention. Now we arrive at the final capstone skill. Section 4, the ultimate revenue engine, connecting all of it directly to the bottom line. Drumroll, please. Skill number 7 is sales. Listen to me on this one. Master sales and you will literally never have to worry about money again. But wait, we really need to clear something up first. The biggest myth about sales is that it's this pushy, sleazy thing where you force people to buy stuff they don't even want. Forget that. The reality of high-income sales, it's simply solving problems that people already have. You're just acting as the bridge between their massive headache and the exact solution they are desperately searching for. You're a professional problem solver. This quote drives the point home perfectly. Companies don't make money from ideas, they make money from customers. Seriously, you can have the smartest AI, the cleanest code, and the most viral video on the internet. But if nobody is actually closing the deal, the business dies. Sales pays out the absolute highest returns, because if you are the person bringing the cash through the front door, you are the lifeblood of the operation, period. Wow, okay, we've covered a ton of ground today. AI automation, coding, data analytics, copywriting, video editing, content creation, and sales. But just knowing about them doesn't do anything for you. Let's move to our final section, your next move. I like to call this the rule of one. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, just take a deep breath. You absolutely do not need to learn all 7 of these. Actually, scratch that. If you try to learn all 7, you'll probably master 0 of them. The amazing truth here is that you are quite literally just one skill away from the life you want. You just have to stop waiting for the perfect moment to start. So, your very first actionable step after this explainer ends is incredibly simple. Pick one. Look at the list, figure out which one naturally clicks with your brain, and build a daily habit around it. Focus is your greatest weapon. Don't try to boil the ocean. Just pick one. And once you pick it, commit to it completely. No more dabbling. Use it, own it, dominate it. Turn it into your own personal engine for leverage. Most importantly, start today. Right now, because while everyone else is sitting around endlessly analyzing their options and waiting for some magical green light, the people who are actually sitting down and putting in the reps, they're already out there winning. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Which of the 7 skills will you master first? Are you going to be a digital builder with AI, coding, or data? Will you master human attention with copy, editing, or content? Or are you going to become the ultimate revenue engine through sales? The choice is entirely up to you, but the clock is ticking and the time to choose is right now. Thank you so much for joining me today on The Explainer. I honestly can't wait to see what you build.